Top Biden administration officials got a first-hand look at the war in Ukraine over the weekend. Today, U.S. lawmakers heard more about the trip from Secretary of State Antony Blinken. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales joins us now with more. Erik?
Well, Tracy, Secretary Blinken testified before the Senate Foreign Relations Committee today, and he told lawmakers that when he was on the train on the way to the capital city of Kyiv, from what he saw, he believes that Ukrainians are in fact winning the war. But he says that's due large in part to the preparations that the US and NATO forces made prior to the invasion.
It was right in front of us. The Ukrainians have won the battle for Kyiv. We started making sure that the Ukrainians had the equipment that they needed to repel a potential Russian aggression way back before the aggression started.
However, the secretary says the challenge now is to sustain that power. During the hearing, lawmakers on both sides agreed Ukraine should have the weapons it needs to win. But in the same breath said it can't go on forever. The secretary says Putin's war is having a direct negative effect on the Russian people and businesses.
Upward of 600 companies have left Russia, including many of the major consumer brands that we all know and are familiar with. Increasingly, Russians are finding the things they thought they could take for granted, they can't.
Last week, the Biden administration announced it would cut red tape for Ukrainians seeking to enter the U.S. on a temporary basis. The U.S. Conference of Catholic Bishops supports the efforts, but says it needs to go further. Quote, this new program does not include authorization for basic services or access to permanent legal status and could unnecessarily strain communities eager to welcome. Kentucky Senator Rand Paul had a heated exchange, bringing up the idea the U.S. is agitating the war and pushing Ukraine to join NATO.
Would President Biden be open to accepting Ukraine as an unaligned neutral nation?
We, Senator, are not going to be more Ukrainian than the Ukrainians. These are decisions for them to make.
Secretary Blinken says the job of the U.S. right now is to continue the fight for Ukraine, but it's also to help strengthen any sort of negotiating that's going to take place. But from what he can tell is that Vladimir Putin, the president of Russia, doesn't want to end this war. Tracy?
Well, Erik, I understand President Biden is asking Congress for more aid now for Ukraine. What is the latest there?
That's right. You may recall last March, Congress did pass some aid for Ukraine, some $14 billion, but we are hearing now from sources that much of that money is gone. Currently, right now, the White House is working on a long-term effort to be able to help Ukraine, possibly even rebuild certain cities. Ukraine right now, officials there say that they need another $7 billion a month in order to win the war. And right now, Congress is working on some sort of relief. We'll continue to follow this as it develops. Tracy?
All right. Thank you so much, Erik. We appreciate that.